So it's Friday, and today I'm joined by Jakob Twedmark. Twedmark, is that right, Jakob?
Yeah, perfect.
Close? Close?
Yeah, close enough, yep.
Awesome. So today, this is going to be probably one in many to come, but we're going to take a look at how a site was implemented. And today you're going to show us, is it rollsroller.com?
Rollsroller, yeah, that's correct.
Okay, cool. But as always, let's start off with how you got kind of involved with the Umbraco community. How did you get started, Jakob?
Personally, I've been an EP050 consultant for a couple of years.
Okay.
2 years ago, when we started this company called Motillo, my co-founder had worked with Umbraco before.
Mm-hmm.
So in one of our first client project, we suggested Umbraco, which worked fine for us as well as for the client. So we've used it for 3 or 4 more projects since then. We're really fond of the platform.
Okay, so you said you've got experience with EP050. So is it just more that your partner made the decision as a company that we're going to use Umbraco, or is it?
We actually use both. We're an EP050 partner, so we use that platform for some of our clients where we think that's the better fit, and for some other projects we think Umbraco works better. So basically, it's related to the size of the project and the budget as well.
Yeah, no, of course. So obviously, with backgrounds in both, is there things that from EP050 that you think could be applied to Umbraco, and vice versa? Even is there things that Umbraco does really well that maybe EP050 could probably benefit from?
I think the biggest difference is Umbraco feels a bit quicker to get started with. Some of our developers prefer it more because they think it's easier to get a head start without having to get too many specific courses as a developer.
Yeah.
And the EP050 has some benefits as well. It has a really nice drag and drop features for the editors. It has more of it's a better solution for multilingual sites, I would say.
Okay.
So I prefer the way it's implemented for different languages.
Okay, cool. So should we maybe jump into and take a look at rollsroller.com and kind of maybe you take us through and kind of explain maybe the client needs and kind of how the site was built.
Yeah. So I'll share my screen here. Hopefully you'll see the start page.
I certainly did. Cool.
For Rollsroller. So basically what the client wanted, they wanted a more up-to-date platform than they was using before. They wanted something that was easy to use. And from our standpoint, we wanted something that's easy to extend and make and develop custom features. I'm going to go through a few of them in a couple of minutes. And we knew that the client had thoughts of extending and adding e-commerce functionality later on.
Okay.
So that was something that we took into consideration. So we decided that Umbraco was the best fit for this client. We also built a MailChimp integration. We used the SEO checker plugin for Umbraco, which works great. And see if I get the time to demo some of it later on. And as we do on most sites, we use Google Analytics event tracking to make sure that we understand how the visitor is behaving while they're using the site.
Awesome. A quick question: What is Rollsroller?
Rollsroller is actually the machine that you see in front of you.
Okay.
It's not quite self-explaining, that machine though. But it's a
I have
machine
no
that
idea what
goes
it is.
while it's used in sign production. So if you're creating signs, and you have probably a lot of manual labor. For example, someone who's working with creating these signs use perhaps 1 hour to mount the image in front of a sign. Well, and if they're using this machine instead, the work is done in about 10 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
So it's extremely time saving for sign production companies.
Okay.
Rolls-Royce is one of the first that invented this kind of machine, so they have patents in a lot of countries, and they're selling it to about 50 countries worldwide. So they're a market leader, although their previous site wasn't as market leading as they were.
So did you have a copy of their old site previously, or is it?
No, I wish I had, but maybe I can send it to you afterwards.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It's definitely a lot different than this one. So basically, what we wanted to do is we wanted to focus on the efficiency and the results that Rolls-Royce clients actually think that they get the real value for the money. So that's why you see a big calculator. It's the ROI calculator, which gives the possibility for the visitors to enter a couple of numbers and see how much money can they save per year while using this machine instead of doing it manually. Yeah. So we're going to scroll down.
Is that kind of calculator a kind of algorithm, so to speak? So like is that installed in kind of the CMS, or is it kind of, is there always kind of set values and the kind of return on investment calculator is?
The algorithm is from an Excel sheet that they used before. It's based on real customer stories, where they evaluated before and after they bought the machine. So it's based on real figures, and the user can sort of try out different values themselves. For example, what is the labor cost in their country? They can change that, so it's more valuable for them.
Yeah, awesome.
So the machine is in focus, as you can see. We have, as I mentioned, a couple of forms. So we want to make it easy for the customer to get in contact with the Rolls-Royce, no matter where they are on the site. So as you can see here, they have 4 different versions of this machine. The premium one is the best seller, and we're going to highlight that in that way. We have an events and news list here, which also is possible to filter quite easily. So if you want to see which events are taking place in the States, you can see that if you go to Atlantic City, you can check them out there. We work a lot with the customer testimonials, you can see in the right column, to really get the clients or the customers a way to express how happy they are with this product. And the same thing down here, we have a lot of client or customer success stories. And we're going to try out the actual calculator, which is a central part of the site. So I'm going to click start here. See, I'm just typing in my basic information. Come from Sweden. Click next. And I'm going to go through 5 simple steps. They're all we have a couple of values entered beforehand, and this is the sort of the mean values from the business. I can adjust some of them. I do use the slider, which is a jQuery UI slider. Yeah.
So this so far looks like a semi-single page application, because I've noticed that the URL so far hasn't changed. And
exactly.
I think kind of,
yeah. So far we're on the start page, but once we get to the results, we're going to get to another site, or another page at least. This question here is about how much is applied on the vehicle, which means the machine isn't used for applying stuff on vehicles. So we're going to click next, and here is the question about the labor cost. So we can say $25 an hour. So show me the results, and here we go.
Okay, so with a slight delay there, but I presume looked like there was some animation in terms of
there was an animation
cost and the animation in terms of the graph.
Exactly. So the graphs are animated with actually it's a CSS transition, all of this. So it works fine as in mobile. So you can easily see how much time you save. compared to how much time you spend today and with the reverse roller. Same thing with the money. So you can scroll down a bit more. As you can see now, the URL has changed to a calculator, which means this URL can easily be shared with friends, or maybe send it directly to your boss and tell him, I really want this machine.
Yeah, we need this.
If someone else visits this particular page and want to edit the values, they can easily do that right here.
Okay, so if the boss, if I send this to my boss and he kind of slightly disagrees, maybe we'll the application, like you changed there, is only going to take us 7 minutes, then we can kind of update his kind of calculator and get more kind of accurate.
Yeah, so he's going to probably say that your labor cost is a bit more than that, so he's going to change that, update the results, and then we get this animation again, as you see.
Yeah, it's very, very nice.
And,
so I presume you've been, sorry to interrupt, I presume you've obviously been monitoring to the kind of analytics, so I presume this has been kind of worked well for the Rose Roller kind of client, that this is getting them a lot of new business in terms of this calculator. Yeah,
it is actually. With the old site, they had compared to the new site, we've increased the customer leads with 500% in total.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
If we take a look at the entire batch of customer leads or customer contacts that's coming in through the site, it's only about 10 or 15% that comes through the generic contact me forms. For example, I think we have about 25 or 30% of all the leads comes through this exact calculator form. And we have a couple of more of those. I can make more examples. For example, when you want to know where to buy this, where is your closest distributor, you're going to use this page instead, where to buy. You can see a world map with a lot of marks on it. So, for example, if you want to see what's in the UK, see here, 2 dots there, 1 here. Over here in Sweden is for the headquarters. Okay. As you can see, there's 2 there, but we don't want it too simple to get in contact with them. So instead of just displaying the contact information, which doesn't provide any tracking information, we're gonna make it possible to send them by email instead. So the customer just enters his or her contact information, and we send it by email the same second they press send. Would that send that to kind of all the distributors in the UK? So obviously there's only 2 in the UK. Would both distributors get the same email? It depends on where in the States the customer is. Usually they send it to the closest one. But the client gets an email with contacts to both of them. But one of these distributors is also going to get the customer information as well, so they can contact the client if the client doesn't contact them instead. Yeah, awesome. And we built similar functionality while getting into. I'm jumping quick here into the product page. So here we have a product page for the premium version. As you can see, we have a big button to find your dealer, which is the page we just left. And down here we have a size sheet for the product. We have a couple of videos which you can just play here full screen, which is just linked to their YouTube account. And the image carousel as well here. So nice. With the same concept as with the dealer distributor information, we have a couple of files that's available for instant access. Just click it and it's downloaded. And then we have a couple of documents that we want more information from the customer before we send out. It could be perhaps in the future a price list, it could be a technical manual or something else. So in that case, They just click the ones that they want, perhaps 2 of them, enter their information, so it's the same concept, and the files are sent to their email directly instead. So this is also a way to get more customer contacts, of course, but also not delaying the visitor.
Yeah.
They need to get this kind of information instantly, but they get it via email instead of just displaying it on the site.
No, it's fantastic. So obviously, this is, so far the site is has a lot of forms, and I understand why it can kind of convert leads. So is the forms using, obviously, Umbraco obviously ships with, or not ships, or sells Contour? Was this using Contour, or was this kind of built with kind of custom forms or something like that?
Yeah, we didn't use Contour for this one. We've looked at it for some other projects where the need is more general, or to say. In this case, the forms were so custom. For example, this one. It's supposed to grab the files and build up a real custom email template, and as well send us a separate mail to the headquarters with the contact information for the client, and so on. So therefore, that's why we built them custom made.
Yeah, no,
in this case,
makes perfect sense.
So yeah, that's probably, we can take a look at this page as well. It's called Roller Success Stories. Since they have so many happy clients, we wanted to make it give them an area to express just how satisfied they are. So in this case, we launched this just about a month ago, I think. Still, we have about 3 different success stories, and this is for clients who visit the site and themselves enter this kind of information. They enter a quick description, and they enter again this ROI. How long did it take before they got their money back, basically. So this is again pretty custom form. The client enters some basic information. They tell their story. They upload images or videos, and press send. And this actually creates a page in Umbraco and sends a notification email to the headquarters, so they can validate the information a bit and then basically just press publish.
Fantastic.
So it's a simple way to get more relevant information to the site.
No, it's been it sounds like quite a success story in terms of how the site was working for them previously and how you guys have come along and
absolutely. I think
improve leads.
Yeah, absolutely. We set a goal when we started the project that we were going to increase leads with 100% and we're going to measure it in 1 year ahead, 1 year after release. So of course, since we actually reached 500% increase in 6 months, they're extremely happy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, exactly. I can imagine. So obviously, we've taken a look around the site. Is there any other custom functionality to the site that we've not seen so far?
Yeah, we have an integration with MailChimp, as I mentioned in the beginning. So every lead that we get.
Okay, so is that in terms of like a newsletter sign up?
Yeah, exactly. So every email that we get through these forms are also sent to MailChimp, which in turn send out a confirmation email. So they have to agree that they're going to receive the newsletters.
Okay.
And we can take a look at the back end as well. Yeah, so here, for example, the success stories that I mentioned. These are pages that have been created through that form. So when there's a new one here, it's an unpublished page that they can just look through and then publish it themselves.
Okay.
We also got a partner login page for certain distributors or partners that need more information. That's we can't just display for everybody. So they get their separate login for that. I mentioned the SEO checker that we're really satisfied with. Let's take a look here if we have any issues. I know we have some issues with all the distributor pages that's missing H1 tags, which actually isn't a problem because they're not displayed on the site. But about the SEO checker, it was really helpful for us since we had an old site that was being replaced. So we used this intensely with the keeping track of all the redirects, the 312 redirects from the old site.
So this was keeping an eye on in terms of like the old links and redirecting them
exactly
where you needed to.
And you can actually really simply just add entries, 301 entries beforehand for the popular pages, and perhaps you have a long tail of hundreds of pages and you don't have the time to add those redirects beforehand. You can easily look them up here in the inbound link errors and just, for example, this one, if you want to redirect that one to another page, I just select it here and press save.
Fantastic.
So that's it. I can recommend that to everybody.
That's the number one handy tip: install SEO checker.
Yeah.
But no, I must admit I haven't looked at it for a little while, and it's nice to get a refresh on it.
Yeah.
So, and if we go back to the content tree, let's take a look at. Yeah, I was just thinking, is there any kind of anything you're kind of really proud of in terms of how you kind of chose to kind of implement it in Umbraco, or is there something like kind of this is like as a development team or as developers, this is something we're really proud of in terms of how we've managed to kind of implement this into Umbraco?
Since I wasn't the developer in the project, so I can more speak in terms of the end results.
No, of course, that's fine.
Well, basically, some pieces that we're extra proud of is, of course, the calculator. I think we managed to create a pretty nice feature for that, which works as well for while using a smartphone or a desktop. So that's one feature that I want to highlight.
Very nice.
And
So, for example, the dealer locator. How do the Rolls Roller kind of client? How do they put in the locations for the dealers in the back office? How's that managed? Where
to buy here, of course. So here are all the dealers. So then they enter these themselves, of course. Take a look at one of them, and we use the Google Analytics, the Google Maps property for this one.
Oh yeah, so you can search for a location and then drop a pin.
Yeah, so it's extremely simple way to. This one I'm gonna also Sweden, so this is where I'm right now. So it's a really simple way to use the maps.
Yeah. So I presume the country property above is to help for filtering this retailer or distributor is in this particular country.
So exactly. So the map property just displays it on the map. It doesn't know which country it is, but it's not the way that we wanna display it. So exactly, that's the way. So they add countries themselves, and they just select it this way. For instance, we're also divided into a couple of states.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that seems quite nice for the end client to kind of manage, and so is the end client happy with how they use the CMS? Has it been kind of easy for them to understand how to use Umbraco, or have you had kind of lots of kind of phone calls or support requests from them going, I don't understand how this works, or has it just been self-explanatory for them?
Yeah, basically, we had a quick course with them. I think we didn't spend more than an hour or two before they were up and running themselves. We haven't. We didn't really need to educate them as much as I thought.
Okay.
So that, I guess that's a good thing.
So do you think that's because of Umbraco's CMS, or do you think is it because the end client was semi-technical in terms of they know? Because I know from experience that you think it's more the CMS.
Yeah, definitely. Neither of them are that kind of technical persons. So I mean, it's a really simple system to learn. That's the one thing that we hear from basically all the clients we work with. I think it's quick to use the user interface, easy to learn. For example, we've started to look at the translation function in Umbraco that I didn't even know existed before. Which we sort of just stumbled upon a couple of weeks ago. Which makes it really simple to send an XML file to a translator, which in turn use it in their translation system, and then just uploads to the system themselves. So that's one thing that, while comparing to EP050 at the beginning, that's one function that EP050 definitely don't have.
Awesome. So is there anything else you want to kind of demo or show off in terms of is like you and the team is really kind of proud of in terms of Rolls Roller? It seems like it's been a nice implementation, and it sounds like a great success story in terms of how the site was working for the client before and how it's definitely improved their leads now. Like you say, 500%. That's through the roof.
Yeah, I think I covered most of it. Maybe there's one part here that we didn't go through. It's a lot of people talk about content marketing these days, and of course we wanted to see what can we do in that area as well. So we created this academy part of the site, which basically is them sharing their knowledge in this area for sign production companies. We know that a lot of searches on Google are, for example, how to make traffic signs was one of the phrases that we caught up. So we thought maybe we should have an entire area that's called how to. So for this example, how to make traffic signs is the headline of the page. It's in the URL, and these pages are, apart from the start page, which gets all the brand keyword searches. These kinds of pages are attracting most visitors from search engines. Okay. And so the organic searches are they're almost the best in conversion rate. Email marketing and the newsletters has been more effective in terms of the conversion rate, but after them is the organic searches.
Okay, that's interesting to hear. So by the company investing some time and effort put into these kind of how-to guides together, it's definitely helped increase the kind of brand awareness, like you say, and the kind of the natural searches is coming more into the site. Yeah, absolutely. We've increased the search traffic with about 50% since the start in about 6 months or so. And this is part of that. Part of the Fantastic. Reason. Yeah. I think we'll start to kind of wrap up. Is there anything else you kind of want to mention or talk about the site or
no, I think
Umbraco as a whole before we wrap up?
I think I've covered it all actually. So no, thanks. I don't have
No, I've got no other questions off the top of my head. But no, thank you for spending the time with me, Jakob, today. And it's been awesome spending the time chatting with you. And
thank you.
I look forward to more implementations that you and the guys do.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll keep an eye out. Yeah, okay.
Speak to you soon. Thanks, Jakob.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.